There we go. Right, well, we'll begin and start off by saying hello, welcome, and thanks so much for taking the time out to join us, Emily and myself, this evening in this lovely, lovely call. One more lady, and there's always someone who's joins after we start. Yeah, we're tonight, Emily and myself are here to share with you a little bit more detail about what the doTERRA business opportunity looks like. It's not something that we talk about all the time. We are here, Emily and I have been working together for, well, 7.5, coming up to years now, which is brilliant.
Yes.
But we are so passionate and in love with working with doTERRA and everything that this business provides. So that is what we're leading with, and it's what we're all about and what we want to share with you tonight. So we're
and you know, like, just listening to you now, Kathy, and you said it's not something that we talk about all the time, and I actually feel like we should talk about it more because it's such a massive, beautiful part of our lives, such a blessing,
really,
such a gift. So yeah, maybe that's
really
what we
is.
do more.
Yeah. Let's do it again next week.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to introduce ourselves, I'll go first just because I'm talking already. But I'm Kathy, and I have, like I just said, I'm coming up to 7 years since I've been sharing the oils, and I have grown so much as a person during that time. I have basically been on a huge journey to, learning, sharing and evolving as a person, and I'll share with you a little later on in tonight's presentation the reasons behind me joining doTERRA. But I just want to say now the journey I've been on. When I began, I knew, I felt it in my heart how much I loved the oils, how much I wanted to do this as a business. But actually, in honesty, I was quite terrified. I was quite nervous. I was quite, reserved. But my confidence has grown so much. My desire to help people, and I feel now, 7 years later, that I'm living a life with purpose. I'm living a life with passion. I'm living a life surrounded by beautiful people, both my upline with Emily and my downline with the girls on my team, and my doTERRA family, I call it that. And it's a really, really nurturing, growing place to be. And I that's all I would say for now. I'll come back and share a little bit more later.
So special and so true, and it is such a privilege to get to call this work, actually, and to run your own business and to own your own business, but not to be that lone wolf doing it all by yourself, to be in a community of like-minded soul sisters, really, where we all support each other and cheer each other on and genuinely love watching each other rise up. And actually, we say the rising tide lifts all the boats. We do it together. To be successful in this work, you have to help each other and you have to hold hands and support each other. And isn't that what life should be like anyway? Like, isn't that way more enriching and fulfilling? So it is such a gift. And I just want to say before I introduce myself properly that I am also just so grateful for Kathy. Like, Kathy is like one of our first team members, and we've all been on such a journey together. And Kathy's team is our team, and my uplines and cross lines, and just like, yeah, the doTERRA family, it tends to attract a very special, beautiful person who wants to lead their lives from their heart. And yeah, we become successful in this work by helping others. That feels great. So I am Emily Mascarenas, and I'm a health coach. I actually trained as a health coach after joining doTERRA because I had the freedom and the finances to be able to do that. That was amazing. I'm also a cacao facilitator. I work a lot with Mama Cacao. I've got my cacao here this evening with my lovely friend Dot next door made it for me. I think it's geranium. So beautiful heart oil in there for me as well. And I live in Devon now. We moved from London to Devon 2 years ago because, again, our lives allowed us to be able to do that. And I wanted that life for myself and for my family. I'm a mama of 4. I've got a very big bump, 35 weeks pregnant bump. So baby number 5 is coming to join us. Yeah, very imminently, which again is such a blessing and probably something that I wouldn't be able to do unless I had this kind of freedom in my life and the finances and the lifestyle to be able to afford to do that. Both myself and my husband have been working with doTERRA for nearly 8 years now. And it's been such a beautiful gift, such a beautiful journey. We are UK founders with the company. We've got one of the biggest teams in the UK. And this business has been the most beautiful vehicle for me to be able to create the life that I desire for myself and for my family by helping others. And I'm very excited to be able to share that a little bit more with you this evening, because perhaps you were called into this call for a reason, and well done for perhaps hearing that calling and listening and joining us this evening, because it may be you or it may be somebody that you might know that is also looking for something like that in their lives. However big or small you would like it to be for you, doTERRA is a beautiful opportunity for anybody, and you can create whatever you want to create through this work. So let's crack on.
I love that, Emily. Okay, so let's move on from talking about us to talking about you. And we've got some questions that we want to ask you. So, could this work for me? Let's just go through it. Are you passionate about health and wellness? I mean, I am, and I always was, and I've become more so now. So if you want to answer some questions in the chat, then you're absolutely welcome. Or maybe you're somebody who likes to write notes. Are you passionate about health and wellness? Do you love people? Sounds daft. I think most people do. But actually, it comes from something far more than just loving people and liking to socialize. It's actually, do you love on people? Do you have that passion and desire to serve, to help, to step forwards and provide something for other people? So do you love people? It's a genuine question. Can you follow a system? Can you get things done? Now, this will go into much more detail throughout the presentation. Doesn't mean we've got tick boxes for you. doTERRA is a lot more organic than that. We're not here going, right, you've got to do this, 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 and this by then, and then. Emily and I, particularly, we are much more organic.
Particularly Emily.
How do I phrase it? No. But we are, and something that I hope that you'll all take away from tonight is that doTERRA will weave into your lives in a way that's different to the way it weaves into my life and to Emily's, and the business is the same. It's absolutely a very malleable and fluid business. But it is a business, and so when we ask, can you follow a system and get things done, it's about your personal achievement. And yeah, we've got all the tools for you.
And I love that you can make it your own, because we're all so unique. We've all got our own offerings and our own gifts and our own visions and our own dreams, and that looks different for each of us. But you can use doTERRA as a vehicle to help to create whatever it is that you want in your life based on your own circumstances and your own lifestyle and the time that you have, perhaps alongside other work and your family or your relationships. It can look different for all of us, but you can use it as that vehicle to help you to create and manifest what is truly on your heart. And so it doesn't matter if you love structures and spreadsheets or if you're more organic and flowy. We all have our own unique gifts and offerings to bring, and that's perfect. That is perfect.
Love it. Okay, so what we're going to talk about tonight really, just to read through the list here, is why doTERRA is genuinely the largest and most trusted essential oil company in the world. What makes the doTERRA business opportunity so unique? Probably picked up a little bit on that already. How you can earn money with doTERRA and build a residual income as well, which again, we'll explain what that means. We're all about creating conscious connections through communities, through support, and through empowerment. And again, just to reiterate what I just touched on a minute ago, about loving people, loving on people, and genuinely, whether it's a person who just comes and says, you know, I need some oils to help support somebody who has got skin issues, and you can go, here you go, here's some oils. Or whether it's somebody who comes in and would like to be supported for emotional well-being, or whether somebody comes to you and wants to be supported in the business. It really is all about creating that community of love, of trust. First and foremost, for me, I think it is that we need to have a trust with people, and then that empowerment comes, that living your life with purpose. Like I said, it gives you the inner strength, and you feel so empowered by that. And so it's a really genuinely a beautiful journey that you will go on to, I'm sure. Little hint in bold here, we have already got everything set up, ready to roll, and it's ready for you guys to just dive into. There is never an expectation that anybody joining the business needs to reinvent the wheel. Of course, you absolutely can, but we have sort of systems in place. We have all the bits ready for you to roll and go and just share the oils and get them out and into people's lives. And that's the really beautiful part of it. And, if you're somebody coming here tonight and you're thinking, well, I would like to do it differently, I'd like to do that and create this for yourself, then nobody's ever going to stop you. But at the beginning point, I kind of, with my girls in my team, I always say, just start sharing, share the oils, help people with the oils. I'm here to help you, and off we go, and it will always evolve. But there's never an expectation for you to start reinventing the whole thing. It's very time consuming. So we, as always, have a full schedule of our continued ed that will carry on through the year as it does. So many different topics. It's always fun, and it's always on a Wednesday. Not every single Wednesday of the year, just to stress. We do have a few breaks, but it will be every Wednesday night, our Wellness Wednesdays, we call them, and anybody that you would like to invite is welcome to come to. So it's ready for you to tap into, like it says there. So why doTERRA? Why now? What we're going to talk through is basically 3 little sections: leading with the product, followed by the people, followed by the pay. And really, as a company, that's the way doTERRA are. They focus so strongly on the product and getting it right, getting the oils absolutely perfect and spot on. They want to change people's lives. And then they are led by the people, and we'll come to that in more detail. Emily's going to take it on from there to talk about the people in doTERRA, whether it's people like you or me, whether it's people like my mum, or whether it's people who are growing the oils. There's such an impact there in the business. And then, of course, the pay, because it is just that, it is a business. So we are going to talk about that too. So as any of you who have joined the Wellness Wednesdays, you would have heard me talk about this many times. But within doTERRA, there are 3 types of people. Basically, I think it's about 80 to 85% of people in the doTERRA community are customers. Customers who love the oils, who use them, who form their own little routines and habits using them, have great success, and that's it. There's no obligation to do huge purchases. There's no obligation to buy every single month. They, of course, can if they wish to, and so many do. There is an absolutely brilliant retention with our customers, in the sense that if somebody uses and loves using lemon, when the lemon runs out, they repeat purchase. It's kind of because the oils are so brilliant and they work so well, people do that repeat purchasing, and there's a very good retention rate with our customers.
I have my lemon in my water this
Oh,
evening.
so do I.
What have you
Cheers.
got? Cheers.
Lemon.
Always good to know what oils you're working with, but you know, citrus oils you will be using daily because they just supercharge your water, help to alkalize your body, support your digestive system. They bring zest for life. They taste amazing. Yeah, so many benefits. So yeah, cheers.
Cheers. I love the lemon. I love grapefruit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next are people who like to share, and along your journey, you may be somebody who just likes to share the oils, or you may want to do the business and you meet somebody who wants to share the oils. Now, this is just basically a customer who maybe wants to earn a little bit of income or cover the cost of their own oils by hosting classes or creating a little gathering of people, and you can work with them, or it's just a lovely community based thing with the oils at the heart. So there are people who are sharers in doTERRA, and then of course there are people who want to build the business, and these are people who want to earn an income, treat it as a business, but also, and more importantly, want to make an impact. Going back to what I just said, it's about creating that purpose and creating that community and creating that change, and really that's at the heart of it, and it certainly is for me, and this is what we're going to be talking about tonight. So let's focus on the product then, the oils, and like we've already said, hopefully you've got some oils. If you haven't already, do make sure you talk to the person who invited us onto the call. So get some oils, have a smell, have an inhalation. You can put it on the back of your neck, on the top of your head, and they are so powerful and so beautiful. Now, doTERRA is the biggest essential oil company in the world. It's certainly the most trusted, most tested, and the most potent oils that you can get. I actually was really lucky that I went last week over to Ireland, to Cork, where doTERRA have recently opened up a new testing facility for all of the oils that come to the UK, which is an incredibly inspiring experience for myself, but also it's future-proofing doTERRA for us over here in the UK and in the rest of Europe. And to clarify what I mean is that up until now, all of the oils, whether they're produced here in Europe or they are produced in the Caribbean or anywhere in the world, they have to go over to America to be tested, to be bottled. But now doTERRA could see the carbon footprint effect that was having, and they've created this amazing facility in Cork right on our doorsteps, that actually 80% of the oils that we here in the UK buy, and in Europe, sorry, it's not the UK, all of Europe buys and uses, 80% of them are now shipped from wherever they're produced, as in whether the plants come from, they're distilled, and then that oil goes in huge barrels over to Cork, where not only is it bottled, it's tested for all of the purity, or making sure there's nothing in those bottles that shouldn't be. And I'll come more to that in a minute, but it's now done, really newly done here, right on our doorstep in Cork, which I think is really exciting. And it's cut down on so many emissions, such a huge difference for doTERRA. It's speeding up the production of the oils as well. So it means moving forwards, there's going to be much better product availability. And all of those oils, like I said, are tested so rigorously. Can't say it.
And aren't we so lucky to have been able to travel so much as well since joining doTERRA?
Yeah.
Like, we've been all over the place, haven't we, Kathy, to different sourcing sites from the very first, the first trip we went on. 6 years ago, Bulgaria,
Yeah.
where we source our lavender, and we've been to Italy and Sicily, and I've been to Canada, and I've been to the Azores this last year, and so many amazing places. Like
It takes you, it opened your eyes for sure.
Yeah.
Takes you to places that is amazing. And yeah, I went to a wet and windy Cork. It wasn't quite as nice as when we went to Sicily or Italy, but there we go.
Magical.
Just as
A
fascinating.
bit wild.
Bit wild and woolly, but it was fascinating. Anyway, so as a company, for those of you who are very new to doTERRA and learning about the oils, I'll just give a little brief reason, I suppose, behind this statement here on the screen now, is that actually in the essential oil industry, there is very, very little regulation. There is nobody really checking what goes into those bottles. We can all walk into high street pharmacies or even, you know, shops or online selling platforms, and we can buy 100% pure essential oils for next to nothing. But sadly, there is nobody checking what that 100% pure, or sometimes it even says organic on it. And sadly, they are just words. There's no validation for that at all. And so when doTERRA set up 14, 15 years ago now, they knew this and they wanted to change. They wanted to change this industry, and they have been the whole time. And so they test right at the beginning, started testing their own oils. So they test to make sure there's nothing in that oil that shouldn't be. There's nothing added, nothing taken away. There's no bacteria, there's no yeast, there's no mold spores, etc. And so in the bottles of doTERRA oils, there is nothing but what was taken out of that plant in the very, very first place. Over maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, over the time, doTERRA now source out the testing as well to a third-party testing that happens. So it's not just in-house testing anymore. So it's kind of like belt and braces, if you like. And yeah, all of the test results are available for us to see on this website. You can see at the bottom, www.sourcedu.com, and you can go on there, and you see on the picture here, every single bottle has its own batch code, and you can type that in, and then you can read the test results if you want to, if you're interested in it, or if you have anybody who's asking you, can you prove it? Yes, absolutely is the answer. There is absolutely full transparency. And just a little anecdote from last week in Cork, where I met the people who have set up this brand new state-of-the-art facility. They're very young, top of their game scientists, whether they're microbiologists or chemists, however you say it. I'm getting it all wrong. Basically, they are totally fascinating people. It is all of the tests are done manually. Nothing is done, you know, it's not machines just bulk testing. They take samples out of every barrel that comes through the door. Every barrel has 5 samples taken out, and then the guys running the microbiology and the chemistry, they will manually put it through tests themselves. There's nothing left to chance. And one of the guys that I was in the room with asked the question, have you ever found anything in the oils that shouldn't be there? And they all laughed and said, no, but we'd quite like to, because it would be, you know, quite an exciting thing. But so far, they've been running for almost 2 years over there, not found not one trace of anything that shouldn't be there. And that's all the way, like I said, from mold and bacteria all the way through to heavy metals. There's nothing in it. So it's amazing, really, the whole process. So
that's so good that you can also be just hands-on and see that and witness that for yourself, because most companies cannot show you that, will not show you that level of transparency.
No.
Begs the question, why? This is why doTERRA is the largest company in the world, because they're doing things that other companies can't and won't do, because it would unearth whatever else is going on.
And really, really excitingly, the facility they have over there in Cork is actually running at quarter capacity at the moment. And so what they've done as a company, they're future proofing for growth. They are expecting growth, and there's facility there now, the room, the factory space to quadruple what they're doing now. And then I can't remember the numbers, I'm terrible at remembering numbers, but it's like millions of bottles a year at the moment are being processed through there. So all very exciting and very new, and we're all at the sort of right at the front edge of it, so loved it. Okay, so when I introduced myself, I said I'd come back and share with you the reason why I joined doTERRA, and it relates to this. The product does what you want it to do. Now, when I first ever heard about doTERRA, I was, well, I still am a mum of two. I've got two lovely kids, but they're big kids now. Back then, I had a 3-year-old little boy who was very, very poorly with asthma, and he was struggling and on a lot of medication, a lot of ambulances, and we were in a bit of a pickle actually as a family. It's quite stressful reliving that time. However, I heard my sister actually introduced me to Emily. They've been friends for years before, and she said, you need to come and hear what Emily's suddenly talking about. And I actually took myself up to London to go, and I think it was one of your first classes, wasn't it, Ems?
Yeah.
And my life changed the direction on that day, and for many, many reasons. But to refer back to my little boy, he does still have asthma. I'm not being very compliant, but it's not about that tonight. He does still have asthma, but he's a very fit, healthy and happy little 10-year-old now. I use the oils on him daily. I use the air oil on his chest. I use frankincense oil on his chest. I use immune supporting oils. I give him the supplements to help support his gut. There are so many things that I have learned, and it goes back to that empowerment as a mum, to help look after my son in a way that not only is helping his life and helping my life and the rest of my family's, but it's also completely natural. And there is something so satisfying with that. And for me, I've referred to it a few times tonight, but my purpose, my desire to keep sharing the oils, the thing that pushes me all the time from the inside of me, is my desire to help other mums experience what I did. I feel so strongly about it. I just want to tell everyone about it and keep doing it. And so 7.5 years later, I am stronger now than I was then, with my desire to kind of carry on doing that. And so why does this matter? Why does the quality matter? Because the oils work. The oils help so many common ailments, whether you're talking about tummy discomfort, whether you're talking about, emotional well-being, whether you're talking about asthma, whether you're talking about your elderly grandma who has got joint issues, whatever it is, doesn't matter. These oils help people. They help change lives. They help empower us along the way. I get a bit emotional about it, but it comes back to that purity, and the quality of the oils is so good that there's this cycle. It matters because the oils work. And because the oils work, the customers keep purchasing and the business just keeps on growing, and as do we. And so it's a really genuinely beautiful place to be, and to go from just being curious and hopeful as a mum 7.5 years ago to where I am now is huge for me. And I hope carry on doing that and share it with you guys too.
And what you can really hear from your story, Kathy, is, you're talking about purity of product, but there is a purity in the work, and there is a purity in the hearts of the founders of the company. And actually the company's kind of slogan or tagline is pursue what's pure. And they're talking about the oils, but they're also talking about pursuing the purity of our own hearts to be able to serve others and to help other brothers and sisters on this journey, on this path, and the purity of the company's hearts. So the company is hugely successful. We'll talk about it later, but their mission is pure. It's to make the world better. It's to serve. It's to give love. It's to lift people and to raise people up. And it does make us emotional because we're really proud about it. And if only all companies had this ethos, and if only everybody knew about the opportunity as well to be part of something that feels so beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, Emily.
Okay, there we go. It's my go.
Oh, yeah, so slick.
It's my go. And that's it. We're talking about the people, isn't it? doTERRA is led by 7 amazing founders who I have, some of them I've met, and they're so pure of heart and so decent and honest and very humble, actually. And their mission is to lift communities, to empower, to support, to give love, to give opportunity. And they are able to put money in the hands of others with pure hearts and lift developing nations, economies where, you know, they can't always provide for themselves, you know, to provide healthcare, to provide water, to provide oils and solutions. So everybody involved in the process is valued and supported. So, you know, all of our oils are ethically and sustainably sourced from all over the world where the plant is usually growing in its indigenous natural habitat. Many of the countries are developing nations, and all of the oils are ethically sourced. So nature is also very respected in the process. And the company is about lifting these global communities and supporting them to have opportunity to be able to provide for their families, and to treat them fairly and pay them better than they've perhaps been paid before. So they provide fair and on-time payments and the generation of so many jobs globally through this botanical sourcing network. So really giving back. This way we are empowering people on both sides of the bottle, not just us using our oils for our health and to support our families, but we are empowering the people on the other side of the bottle to be part of something, be part of a mission, to have purpose in their work, to be able to provide for themselves and have long-lasting contracts of work and fulfillment as well, purpose. So yes, and the business, because it's a relatively young business if you compare it to other network marketing models. It's been running for, I think, 13 or 14 years now, which is young, but it's growing and growing, and we're continually seeing new markets opening all over the world. Last year, India, this year, Dubai. It's a really exciting vehicle to be on, like get on that surfboard and ride the wave with us. And now is a beautiful time to join because there's still so much growth to be had. People are waking up to the value of essential oils in their lives, in their health. The studies are growing and growing. We're seeing oils being integrated into healthcare because we know that we need other options. So it's a beautiful opportunity and time to get involved right now, and one that could be very affluent for you as well. So next slide. Thanks, my love. So this is our sourcing map. You can see our oils come from all over the world, which is amazing. We don't often compare ourselves to other oil companies. We don't really need to, because we know how amazing doTERRA is. But what I will say is most other companies are growing in greenhouses or buying in from big supply chains. And this is it. I'm even talking about well-known essential oil companies that you guys would recognize. Most of these companies are growing en masse in greenhouses in one location, or not very many locations, or buying in from big supply chains because it's just easier to do it that way. It's simpler, it's easier, it's cheaper. But of course, you're not going to get the same potency as you will from a plant that comes from its natural wild habitat, where that plant thrives and the soil is optimum, and the climate and the region and the weather, and you know, everything is taken into consideration, even the time of day that we're harvesting the plants and distilling the plants. So the life force in this bottle is so alive when it reaches you. And that's when you open these bottles, you can sense it. You don't even need to be an expert to sense the life force and the healing within each and every bottle, and the heart within each and every bottle. So you can see we're sourcing from all over the world, and many of these countries are developing nations. So we're really pouring finances and money into these countries, an opportunity where it's needed. And, you know, we're also really respecting nature at the same time. And this is what makes our oils beautiful. This is why you can, when you work with an oil, really build a connection with like the plant spirit almost. You can feel it in your body as you use it, like a gift. So yes, this is our co-impact sourcing model and our global botanical network. And it's very special. We've been lucky enough to visit quite a lot of these places where we're sourcing our oils from, and visit the distilleries and really witness the process. Like Kathy said, you know, we're really lucky that we get to witness the process. So we know that the company is the most trustworthy and transparent that you will find. Okay, next slide. So how do I turn this into a business? Well, it's actually a very simple model. It's very duplicable and repeatable. So the journey is that we usually sample people with a little sample for whatever they may be looking for, whatever may be going on in their lives, whether it's a physical ailment like digestion or sleep, pain in the body, or perhaps it's a skin issue, you know, whatever's going on for people. Everyone's got something usually that they're working with, or it may be an emotional need, which is, you know, a lot of people are really struggling these days. And, you know, when we're sampling and sharing the oils, we're sharing something natural with people that is not addictive and that doesn't have any harsh or addictive effects in the body. So it's a beautiful thing to share a sample with somebody to try and help them. So we usually give a sample of an oil that meets that person's needs, and then we will teach about the oil, and that may be in a class, or it may be just over a cup of tea or on the phone. It may be that you just send a link on email. I mean, really, you will do it in a way that suits you, that feels good for you and in flow. Usually once people experience the oils, they love them. You can tell the difference. Most of you here have said that if you've been reading through the chat. It's amazing to see how much these oils mean to you in your lives. So usually people will want to get some oils themselves, in which case you would help them to enroll and help them to order. And then you would support them on that journey. Now, you may find that people enroll with the intention of sharing or wanting to build a business themselves. And if that's the case, you would be supporting them in that, whatever they're looking in this being for themselves. But that's the journey. And then you just kind of rinse and repeat it. So as Kathy said, we have all of these amazing, beautiful systems set up and ready for you to dive right into yourself, ready for you to share. If you are interested in sharing the oils or incorporating the business into what you do, then you can start straight away doing this and we'll help you. It's very simple. And you can fit it around your life and your work, so it feels in alignment with who you are. So, you know, a lot of us will share the oils on our social media platforms. That's a nice thing to do if you use social media, if that feels right for you. Some people like to do health and wellness events like fairs or, you know, networking events. That works for some people. Group classes are always gorgeous, you know, sitting down in a room, getting the oils out, having beautiful citrus waters and making yummy food with the oils in, like raw chocolates or flavored hummus or salsa, or, you know, whatever. There's so many things that you can do with our oils and have so much fun with them. And actually just being in a room and connecting with other women, men, humans is such a gorgeous thing to do. Doesn't feel like work at all. And that's how many people share the oils. You can just have one-on-one cup of tea with somebody. It doesn't really matter how you do the work. The key thing is consistency. And when you start using the oils for yourselves, you will become passionate about them. You will notice how they change your life. So it's very easy to be sharing them, because as humans, we naturally usually want to help other people, our sisters and brothers. And so it's very easy to want to talk about the oils when you know you've got a solution that could help people. The key is just talking about them, sharing them little and often, and helping people as you do. So next slide. So how will you work doTERRA into your life? Well, that very much depends on you in your life and what that looks like, because it's different for all of us. I find I share the oils a lot with women like me, or certainly like the woman that I was 10 years ago, who felt stuck and unsupported. I knew I wanted to use more natural solutions in my life when I had my first baby. And I'd not long before that, I'd lost my father. And for me, that was like a catalyst where I knew that life was precious. And I wanted to not have to reach for chemicals and certain modes of healthcare and medication. Like, I knew that I didn't want that, but I felt overwhelmed and lost and confused. There's so much conflicting advice on the internet. I did lots of research around this, but eventually I came across more natural solutions, essential oils, and doTERRA. And now I really feel like the people I'm here to perhaps serve are the women that I was 10, 12 years ago. So I just find it very easy to talk about them with other mothers like me. But I also share on my social media. I get to live life the way I want to live life now because of this work. This is our soul work. Myself and my husband, we do this together. We work from home. We work when we want, when we choose. It's been incredibly financially rewarding for us. I find myself going to lots of things that I like going to. I'm very lucky. And I often find myself talking about the oils with people because they mean so much to me, and they come up. Or people say, you smell amazing, because I'm usually, smelling of the oils without even realizing. So you can work doTERRA into your life however your life is. It may be, in a yoga class. It may be that you're a massage therapist and you want to incorporate them into your work a little bit. It may be that you just want to use them on your children to support their health, and you find yourself talking about them. It may be that you're a fitness instructor and you want to weave them into your classes. It may be that you work in the medical industry and you see the need that people are stuck and searching for other natural solutions. I think for me, my work as a mentor is about diving deeper with somebody into what's in their heart, to help them to find their soul purpose, and to help them to really connect with the life that they would love to lead if they could just paint that picture, and then figuring out how doTERRA can help them to weave that tapestry. It can look very different for different people, and will help you based on your own vision, your own dreams, and your own circumstances right now. So anybody can do this is basically the answer to that question. Next one. So why personal sales and community? So this is a good one, because people will often say, well, why do we not see these oils on the shelves in the shops? And why is it network marketing or like an MLM? Like, people don't understand why it is that model. And it's actually something that I also asked when I started my doTERRA journey, because I knew I loved the oils. But then when it came to the kind of network marketing model, I thought, is this a pyramid scheme, or I'm not sure about that model. I didn't understand it, to be fair. And some similar models or companies that kind of operate with a similar model, I don't know if they necessarily do it in a way that felt in alignment with me. So when I realized doTERRA was network marketing or an MLM or direct sales, I wasn't sure. But the more I dove into the company, the more I realized how special the company is and how it actually needs to be done this way. Firstly, it says here, you are unlimited. Your success is up to you. You can do this as much or as little as you want. It may be that you just want to cover the cost of your own wellness each month, and then cover the cost of your monthly spend each month, so your oils are all free. And sharing the oils a little bit, that means that you can have free oils for yourself and your family each month. It may be that you want to support your income by 200, 500, £1,000 a month. You know, it's up to you, depending on your level of input. Or it may be that you want to totally replace your income and just reach for the stars and earn a lot of money, more than perhaps you may have even realized is possible. That was my story. I thought it would be nice to just supplement our income to help pay the bills, but that happened quite quickly. And then I was loving the journey. So we just kept going. And eventually we became financially sufficient, so we could let go of all of our other work and just focus on doTERRA. And our finances, I still pinch myself when our wages come in each month, when our commission comes in each month, from doing something that I love so much. So it's very much up to you. Your success is up to you, and we'll support you with whatever you might like that to be. Most companies, you can't do that. You know, you might get a promotion, but it's unlikely. You can go as high up with this as possible, or, you know, do as little as possible. It's your choice. The personal development is huge in personal sales. As Kathy said, both of us have been on such a journey since the beginning. I never realized that about this. And I thought, I just like essential oils, you know, that's all. But there is a deeper level of healing that goes on as you work with the oils. And as you unlock that within yourself, you unlock it within others. And in this work, you become successful by helping others. Like, how beautiful is that? And I know I've changed so much as a person in the last 8 years, and I'm so grateful. It's not about me anymore. You know, not that it was, I wouldn't say I was a selfish person, but we've been programmed to think that business is just about us and about making money, and it doesn't have to be that way. Actually, there's such a gift in doing work that helps others and supports others. And in this work, you become successful from doing that. So yeah, I can't even try to explain how grateful I am for the journey that continues as well. The business model is provided for you as well. Like, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. There's so much that's just done for you. You just need to get out there and talk about beautiful oils that serve people and help people. You don't have any overheads. You don't need to have loads of stock at home. The oils will, if somebody that you introduce to the oils wants to order, they get sent directly to them from the warehouses. You don't have to manage any of that. So it's very simple to share the oils. And there's ready-built education and community there waiting to dance this dance with you. The education is phenomenal in terms of what's just set up already for you to be able to share, to help you to grow your own business. It's all there. Very low startup costs. All you need is a starter kit. Like, there's different grades of starter kits, different sizes of starter kits, but actually you can just begin your journey with the most popular customer starter kit, which we'll talk about. The Home Essentials kit is the most popular starter kit, and it's around £240, isn't it, Kathy? And if you want to earn commissions, then you will need to do a monthly spend of 100 PV in order to earn your commissions, to, you know, for sharing the oils and for doing this work. And that's a choice as well. You don't even have to do that, but hopefully you will want to be earning your commissions for your work and sharing the oils. That's it. You know, what other businesses give you the potential that we're about to show you with such little starter costs? You know, I've never worked in a business like this where the potential to earn is so great. Before we started this work, we bought a music franchise for babies and children, teaching music classes, and I think it cost us £11,000, and we didn't earn very much money at all. We had many overheads. With doTERRA, to start your business, you just need a starter kit of around £250. That's amazing. So very low startup costs. And we do pride ourselves on long-term care and education and building beautiful relationships with our customers. Like, that's a really lovely aspect of this work, building trust, as Kathy said. And you don't need to be salesy, you don't need to be pushy. None of us want to be that. Like, we all have a little bit of an allergy to that, I think, when we come into this work, because we love the oils, but we're really worried about not being that. You don't need to be. You just need to let the oils share themselves, and they do. And just share from your heart and your passion. It's a product-led business, as it says here. And the beautiful thing about this model is you can create residual income. So, you know, I'm about to have my 5th child, which incidentally, I don't think we'd be having a 5th baby if it wasn't for doTERRA, and it wasn't for the freedom that's injected into our lives, because we can afford it. We work from home together. We live life on our terms. So I don't need to work for a couple of months, and I know that my paycheck will still be coming in. In the past, when we worked in our theatre business and other models of work, you have to work to be paid. So it's really hard to have time out. When you build a business like doTERRA with this model, this network marketing model, you are building a residual income stream for your life, for the future of your families, and it will keep coming in based on the work that you've done. You're not hauling the buckets. It's a very intelligent, smart way to think about your future and the future of your family, having that residual income. Yeah.
I was just going to add as well, and after the last couple of years that we've all experienced and been through, the business thrived in that environment. We were already here online. We connect with people in person, but when we kind of had to shut ourselves away for a little while, the business carried on. It didn't stop. We didn't need to go and get the money from the government. We didn't have, all this stuff. Life didn't change. Life grew and evolved, and we adapted slightly, for sure. But again, it kind of goes into what you're saying about being able to have another baby. It just kind of fitted. It just allowed, for me, in my context, it allows me to go and watch my kids when they're doing something, or go and pick one up if they're not very well, or go and watch a rugby match, and all of the things. And it allows me to go for a walk in the sunshine in the morning with a friend, because I manage my own time, and I feel really blessed by that.
And like today, Kathy and I, we were messaging each other about this evening's call, and I was like, I'm just sitting on the sofa cuddling Indy, and Kathy was like, I'm just having a cat nap.
Don't say that.
We can totally do that if we want to, and we still get paid, which is beautiful.
We do work. We work very hard, though.
We do work as well, but on our own terms.
It's a lovely thing.
So next slide.
Oh, I can't do it now. There we go.
So how much time? That's a good question. Well, it's up to you, based on your life, your circumstances, and the time you want to give it. As Kathy said, this is a business. It's not a hobby. You can treat it like a hobby. It will pay you like a hobby. So, I have invested a lot of time and energy into my business in the last 8 years, but it hasn't felt like it. It's felt joyful. I love it. This is a rough guide. So say, for example, you want to just cover the cost of your oils each month. So, you get your family's healthcare, natural healthcare provided for free each month. Then you're probably looking at somewhere beginning with three hours, something like that. If you want to supplement your income by, well, depends, 200, 500, £1,000 a month, you'll probably be starting at somewhere like 5 hours a week. And then, it's not necessarily sat down at your computer time. It's being out and about, and it's networking, really. It's talking to people and sharing the oils. So you don't have to think of it as blocks of time. It's just sending a message here and there to people to help them with whatever's going on in their lives. So, it's not overwhelming. It really doesn't need to be. If you want to replace your income and you want to be earning, seriously good money that can support you and your family without having to need other income, then of course you're going to want to invest more time into this. And, for myself and my husband, we're earning somewhere between 10 and 20,000 pounds a month. I still pinch myself when that check comes in, It's our full-time work, but again, it's on our own terms. And yeah, such gratitude for that. And what truly is in my heart is not just, as I said, you don't get successful in this work by doing this by yourself. Like, my passion is helping my team to create that life for themselves. If they want it, like, I'm here to help. I'm here to show you how to do it as well, which feels great, because then we can create more freedom in the world. So we're not all reliant on the powers that be. Like, we have sovereignty, we have choice, we have freedom over the lives we want to lead. We're not tied to anyone else. Like, shouldn't every woman have that right? Every man, every family? I feel passionate about that. Okay, let's crack on.
Oh, wrong way.
Okay, so income potential. Yeah, and like, when I saw this chart, I didn't really believe it. I just thought, God, how can you possibly earning that much money a month? So I didn't focus on the top bit. I just sort of thought, well, if I could earn £500 a month to support paying the mortgage, that would be nice. Like, that would be great. The reality is that I hit that rank of Premier after 3 months, and then it just kept growing. So, we reached the rank of silver in 6 months, then gold was 9 months. Platinum was, I think, 13 or 14 months. Then we went diamond, and we're currently blue diamond. Eternally grateful when our paycheck comes in and for the life we've been able to create, because we trusted it and we just had the courage to go, well, let's just see how this goes. There was a part of me that didn't believe it, but it's true. It's very real. And my earnings are nowhere near as big as some people's earnings in doTERRA. Like, it's kind of limitless, actually. And I've got big dreams. And for me to be able to create those big dreams, it means helping my team to create theirs. So I'm here for it, if you guys are ready. Next slide. So how do I get started? So yeah, you'll need a starter kit. Home Essentials kit is the kit that we suggest. 200, the price changed fairly recently, 245, is it? Something like that. Someone here will correct me, I'm sure. It's an amazing kit with 10 beautiful core oils that they're still the oils that I reach for the most. Even though I have all the oils, if I'm to go away on holiday, I will take those 10. They've been specifically put together so they cover all your needs, and they're very easy to share with others. So these are the oils that we tend to share first in a class or in a one-to-one, and they cover so many ailments. So you're going to want to have those oils to experience for yourself to begin with, to learn about, to connect with. So yeah, you're going to want a Home Essentials kit at least. There are larger kits as well. Like, it depends how fast you want to go. If you want to go really fast, you might want to go for a slightly bigger kit, so you've got different products and you can start sharing those straight away. So if you are interested in beginning this journey with us, reach out to the person that invited you, and they'll be able to share the different starter kits with you and the different options to find, what works for you. You're probably going to want some sample bottles too, because as I said, we tend to sample people with little samples. I think they're £12 or £15 for 72 bottles. So that's really cheap too, and very cute. And it's lovely making your own little apothecary of oils and giving people their little bottles to begin their health journeys. You're going to want a fractionated coconut oil that you can see in the picture here. That's to help you to dilute your oils so they go further. And obviously, if we're working with the oils with children or the elderly or sensitive people, we do suggest dilution. And fractionated coconut oil is really light and non-scented and tested to the same quality as our oils, because we don't want to be using any dodgy carrier oil that could make our beautiful essential oils go rancid. And then we suggest a reference book. It's usually about £24 for one. We can tell you a lovely site where you can browse through some gorgeous choices. Modern Essentials is really nice for kind of ailments and science and research, if that's your jam. Or Advanced Oil Magic is really nice too. That's kind of a mixture of ailments and protocols, but also some emotional stuff too. Or if you're somebody like me, like I love the spiritual and emotional aspect of the oils these days, there are other books. So, you can find what really suits you and who you feel you might be sharing the oils with, like what might appeal to them. And we can tell you some really nice websites where you can get books, oracle cards, containers, sample bottles, all of that stuff. You're going to want to place your order once a month, 100 PV, which is around about £100, on LRP, which is the loyalty rewards point system each month, if you want to earn your commissions, which hopefully you will if you're doing this as a business. And that's obviously because you'll want to replace the oils that you're using yourself and that you're sharing with others. And you're going to want to be a product of this business so you can share authentically, because people will know if you're not using the oils yourself, like how can you share with integrity? So you will get through your oils, and there's many other products that are there for you to try, skincare products, cleaning products, the nutritional supplements. I wouldn't be without them. So it's very easy to do that monthly spend. But again, you're not tied into that, but you will hopefully want to be doing that to earn your commissions if you're wanting to do this as a business. And then we suggest, hopping on the education and the training calls that are provided if you're serious about your business, because it's only going to help you. We suggest attending regular online community calls or one-on-one trainings with the person that introduced you or your upline team. And I really suggest going to live events too, because I see those as just as important as doing your kind of monthly spend, because they fuel you, they'll inspire you, they'll remind you what's possible. And you get to see your doTERRA family, which always feels amazing. So for me, I'm very passionate about my team going to events. I love that. And it definitely helps you in your business as well. But yeah, again, it's kind of up to you, really. You come into this with the energy of whatever you're here to create, and we'll match that energy. Dive in, get involved, and embrace it. Hey, next slide. So could this work for me? Yes. Yes is the answer to that. It can work for everybody. I've seen it. So many successful people all over the world sharing these oils, creating beautiful businesses and lifestyles for themselves and their family. People from all different walks of life as well. So the answer is yes. But these things help. If you're passionate about health and wellness, of course, that helps. If you're not, that actually still doesn't really matter. If you're even at the beginning of your journey, you get to go on that healing journey yourself and at the same time heal others. Do you love people? Are you a people's person? Do you like helping people? Because this is a service-based business. Like, we do well by helping people and by loving on people. And that feels great. It feels like such a gift. And I just wish every business had this mission at the core. And can you follow a system and get things done? Because that's really helpful and useful too. So yes, the answer to this question is it can work for everybody. Depends if you want it in your heart, then it can work for everybody. And then, yeah, so nice little slide to finish. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. I feel like in life, we can so easily miss opportunities and over procrastinate and talk ourselves out of things. Our ego steps in, that little voice, those limiting beliefs, telling us that we're not enough, telling us all the reasons why not, telling us why we're not ready, waiting for the perfect opportunity. But the reality is, there is never a perfect opportunity. The perfect opportunity is always now. So even if it feels a little scary and a little unknown, when you step into your discomfort zone, that is like you grow your wings. I love it the first time somebody makes their first ever order. It's like I can see their wings growing on them, that transformation happening straight away. And it's the same with the business. Like when somebody steps into their power and captures the taste of what they could create, that potential, and says yes to this, it's the beginning of a transformational journey. And it's always the best time now, because if you overthink it or you wait, probably won't do it. You'll forget about it. and then you never know what you could be missing out on. And I just think, thinking back 8 years ago, we could have easily said no to this. And I'm so grateful that we just decided to give it a go, because worst case scenario, we just had a beautiful selection of oils for the family, which I wanted anyway. And look what else has happened in our lives and in the lives of thousands of other people who now have oils in their lives, or who are now doing this work because we started, because we decided we were going to share, and we wanted the world to hear about these oils and about this business. The opportunities that I've been able to provide for my family, but also for others, is insane. And like, you know, here we are, we live in Devon. This week, we've been holding auditions, because our past life was in the theatre, for a production that we're helping our children's school to put on. We're doing the School of Rock at my children's school. And myself and Tim, we're doing it because we can. We're doing it for no money. And we're going to put on the first ever musical theatre production at the school, because we want to give the children that experience, and we want to share our gifts, and we want to support the theatre department and that self-expression. Now, if we did other work, there's no way we could do that. We couldn't afford it. We couldn't afford the time or the childcare or anything like that. But we can make those choices in our life to do what matters to us because of doTERRA. So we get to create the life that we want, that we love, because we've used doTERRA as a vehicle to create it. And we got really clear on our vision. You know, a couple of months ago, somebody reached out to me who had connections with a community in Africa. And doTERRA is supporting communities and projects, charitable projects all over the world. We've been part of some of these projects ourselves. But this project, there's a gardening project that is about supporting a community to have an irrigation system so that they can grow vegetables even when there's a drought for the communities. Over 100 children in this community who have nothing. But that's kind of a long-term project. The short-term reality is that these children had no food. And when this person reached out to me in Africa, he said, you know, the children are crying and the children are hungry, and it broke my heart. And I messaged doTERRA, and I messaged my friends in leadership in corporate. And I said, I know, you know, it's better to give like tools to help people to be self-sufficient and to be empowered. But is like there any chance that we could just give them some money to help them to feed the children, and you know, give them what they need right now, and then work on the long-term project as well. And so doTERRA came back to me and they said, well, you know, how much do they need? Like, break it down. What food will they need to feed this community of children? And we worked it out. I think it's like £2,000 for a month, and they paid it. And it blows me away that I work for a company that is so generous and so from the heart. I don't know other companies that would do that. Like, I've been hearing this week of friends of mine in the theatre business, and a friend that I was on stage with, he had a stroke and their company pulled his contract, so he can't support his own family. And this is the industry that I was used to, you know, no support and no stability. And yet here we are with doTERRA, with a residual income stream that is going to keep us going for the rest of our lives, to support ourselves and our family, even when I have a baby, even if I can't work, and giving so much to the world as well. Like, for me, that's truly beautiful and a gift, and one I will be ever passionate to share. I'll never apologize for it. So yes, now is a very exciting time to join the company. We're still right at the beginning in terms of growth, opening new countries all the time. It's a beautiful time to jump on board and dance the dance with us. And as I said at the beginning of this call, we need to share this more, Kathy. Like, sometimes we talk about the oils because we love the oils, but actually we need to talk about the business as well, because it's beautiful and it's life-changing.
It really is.
As much as the oils, even more so. So the card that I pulled, interestingly, at the beginning of this call was Blue Lotus. And Blue Lotus, her gift is ascension. And and the affirmation with Blue Lotus is, I awaken into my soul mission. And so I thought, wow, that's amazing. Like, so I really tuned in on like, pull a card for everyone that joins this call this evening, like pull a card that is right for this evening's call. And that's what came through. I awaken into my soul mission. So yeah, we've reached the end of our presentation this evening, but just thank you so much for joining, and maybe just take a few moments now, if you're watching live or even if you're watching the recording, to just breathe in, tune in with your heart, tune in with your soul and your purpose, tune in with the life that you are ready to create for yourself and for your family and for the people you care about, and know that you can create that with doTERRA. You can, and we'll help you to do it if you're ready. Okay, my loves.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you, Kathy.
For joining. Thank you for being here. I'll stop the record now. And if you want to stay on for a little brief chat, then we'll be there. So bye-bye.